Hello and welcome, amazing Aquarius. My name is Rose Smith from AbsoluteSoulSecrets.com, and I'm here to do your June Astro Tarot astrology, whatever you want to call it. And it's a humongously huge month for everyone. This year is a huge year for everyone, particularly from May through to November. But this is one of the bigger months, okay, that everybody has to process a lot of emotional and spiritual energy. This month we actually have 6 retrograding planets, 3 asteroids retrograding and 2 eclipses. So that's just so much to deal with. Now, if you haven't followed me before, just really quickly, a brief rundown of what I'll do in this video. We'll have a look at your retrograding planets and what areas of your life are being affected. I'll also draw 2 tarot cards as themes for you for the month of June. We'll have a look at your horoscope. I'll do a tarot spread for June and finish up with a psychic summary. So it's a bit of an esoteric combo, okay? So we'll see what comes out. Let's have a look now at your retrograding planets and also the eclipses. Now, first thing about retrogrades are that by their very nature, they are disruptive. They're designed to shake you up and get you to retweak or perhaps even make major changes in different areas of your life. So it's not a good time to make important decisions when a planet is retrograde in that area, because when it turns direct again, you could change your mind. So just bear that in mind. Also, the dates I'm giving you when the planet is full on retrograde, but there's also a thing called the shadow period either side of that, where the energy is coming on or coming off. So just be aware that there's a little bit of extra time either side of the retrograde. All right, let's have a look at the first one, and it's Mercury retrograde from the 17th of June to the 12th of July in Cancer. And this is in your 6th house of everyday work, health and well-being, and also your daily habits. So with Mercury retrograde here, if you're working part-time or casually or not in a really secure job, you may find that something goes amiss with your communications at work, and it can be communications are misunderstood anywhere, but particularly with work, because there's so much going on about, people losing their jobs. So do be careful with your communications at work. Technology also plays up, and if you have an agreement to sign or to make a contract with someone, just be aware that there could be changes later down the track. It's not that you can't do it, it's just that you need to take extra care at this time. Venus is retrograde from 13th of May through to the 25th of June in the emotional sign of Pisces. Okay, Venus rules your love life. She loves love, also your finances, and beauty, harmony, art, that sort of thing. And you could find that if you've just recently met somebody that you can't communicate properly, see there's a bit of overlap between Mercury and Venus times there, where communications might be a bit sort of affected or strained even. If you're in a relationship, there might just be some distance between you in some way. Perhaps you're both busy with other things, or one of you is away somewhere, maybe working. And so with Venus retrograde, if you do meet somebody, just be aware that when Venus turns direct, it turns direct on the 25th, but you've got that shadow period. So, mid-July or something like that, you could change your mind about the person in some way, or you see them in a new light. You didn't see them as they really were before, or something happens and then there's a change of heart. Thankfully, Mars is not retrograde until September. Jupiter is retrograde 13th of May until 14th of September in the very practical earthy sign of Capricorn. Jupiter normally likes to increase everything that he touches, but with a retrograde again, things can go a bit quiet. It is a good time for giving up bad habits, and Jupiter is retrograde in your 12th house of the subconscious. So if you're a spiritual person, you might find you're going through a dry period. You can't necessarily pick up the signs like you normally do. If you're clairvoyant, you might be looking for static to try and see things in spirit. So it could be this sort of lessening, but it is a great time to lose weight with Jupiter retrograde. In your 12th house, there could be times where you want to isolate yourself away and not deal with people, or declutter, minimize your life and get rid of excess things, which is actually a really good thing, a bonus thing. So you can see there's positives and negatives with retrogrades. Saturn is retrograde 11th of May through to the 29th of September, again in Capricorn, so real physical effects, and that is in your 12th house as well. So there could be blockages or challenges about 12th house things, meditation, going within. Maybe you want to go within and you keep getting distracted, or people make noise when you're meditating, or they're stopping you or challenging you or hindering you getting in touch with your quieter, more spiritual side. Perhaps your family or your partner or somebody doesn't like you doing that. And there could be challenges there and obstacles. Just be persistent and determined. Don't give up. Neptune is retrograde 23rd of June to the 28th of November in the emotional sign of Pisces in your second house. Second house is all about your finances and your possessions and your value system. With Neptune, it's a very spiritual planet, but you do need to be careful of delusions and illusions. If you're thinking of investing, please get professional advice, because you could be deluded in some way about your finances. If you do go to a professional, make sure that they're accredited and they know what they're talking about, because you could really investing at this time. It's not a good time for investing in risky things or even cryptocurrencies, because what you think is going to happen, it could be the opposite. You could be under some sort of spell or delusion about your money, so just please be careful. Pluto is retrograde from the 25th of April to the 4th of October, again in earthy sign of Capricorn and in your 12th house. With so much 12th house activity, you've got 3 retrograding planets there, Jupiter, Saturn and Pluto. Really, really, really is not a good time to make a major decision with all of that happening, because you're really being called to go within. It's not a time for expanding out into the world. It's a time to get in touch with your soul. Pluto is a planet of death, manipulation, addiction, control, power over, all of those dark things. But there is also a light side to Pluto. When you get through that, you'll see the light side, which is the phoenix rising from the ashes. So you're starting a brand new cycle soon, because this is all happening in your 12th house, and then we'll go into your sign, the first house, and you'll start a brand new cycle when you get through this. So it's just the time to be quiet. Again, I must say, meditate, pray, whatever word you want to do. Stay at home as much as you can. Don't, go out gallivanting or whatever. Things could happen. It's a time for inner reflection with all of this going on. Alrighty, so let's have a look at what's going on with your horoscope. And first I'll pick or draw 2 tarot cards as themes for you, amazing Aquarius. Let's see what comes up. And I've already pre-shuffled these. Gonna go with this one. On top, closing my eyes now, and what do I see? Okay. I see a window, and a window usually means a window of opportunities, but I see the window being closed. Okay, so there's some bad weather outside, and if you close the window, you'll be safe. You'll be protected from the storms and the gales, the gale force winds out there. You might even have to retreat from social media, to be quite honestly, because there's some gale force winds on social media at the moment, I can tell you. And so retreat within, and it all will be fine, and that's an opportunity in itself. View all of these changes as opportunities for you to really get in touch with yourself. Maybe you've got some psychic abilities and you really haven't devoted enough time to them in the past. You could really develop them now. All right, so we come up with the Four of Pentacles. This is about your finances. Excuse me, coughing. Okay, and you do have activity here also in your horoscope. I'll talk about in a moment about your finances. There's challenges, okay? You may not have the luxury of staying home all the time because you might have to work. There is money coming in, but you have to be careful. There's a bat up here in the background. There's also a mountain here, which is a challenge, and challenges on either sides. However, there is a way through. Don't give up. Between these challenges, there's a pathway. Here are all the coins down the bottom. She's actually working on a piece of stone or rock, but it looks like a laptop to me. Maybe there's something online you can do to develop extra income streams. You know, people are changing their work. They're pivoting away from what they used to do and going into industries that are thriving. Some industries are thriving at the moment. And I know people with psychic abilities, my network, we are so busy, it's unbelievable. And so there are places you can go to make money, and you can also trim your budget. So although, yes, these challenges are there, and the bat here, which is symbolic of Pluto, actually, in my mind, at the moment, there's a way through. She's wearing blue, so self-expression is important, along with persistence and determination. Let's have a look at the second half of the month for you, amazing Aquarius, and see what comes up. Going to go with that card, closing my eyes now. What do I see? I'm in a corridor. Yes, there are mountains on either side. It's sort of a bit similar to this card that I just looked at, but this is like a building rather than being outside. And I'm walking through all of these corridors, and it's a bit like a maze, and I get you turning to the right. And with that, I feel like it's security, stability, responsibility, commitment. All these things are important. Okay, so you might be feeling really like you don't want to socialise. You don't, you know, you feel a little bit isolated, but you're doing that isolation by choice because you just don't have the energy to be gadding about and gallivanting around the town, because there's serious things that you need to consider. Okay, and this is Knight of Swords. So although you may not be doing it in the physical world, in your thoughts, because it's swords, it's a time for expansion. Maybe you read some books. Maybe you're thinking about travelling later. And so you need to plan things, strategize. He's riding an eagle. So this is particularly a message for Americans, but it also means take the big picture view. Don't be worried too much about what is happening right this minute, because look at what's going on medium to long term rather than short term. Okay, so it's a time for striking out, doing something different, planning a new life. It's like you're starting, you know, you've been reborn in a sense. And I noticed this is what happens sometimes. You have to go real quiet and within for a while before you're reborn into the cycle, a new cycle. So just to give you an example, when I was 40, I started this business after a series of dreams, and I was really called within, and Spirit told me not to work. I was told to give up my job and stay home. I'm like, what am I going to do? I'll be bored after 2 weeks. And I used that time, and really got into meditation every day, my dreams, and did all of that. And now, following my dreams, I started this business, and it's now over 20 years. And I needed that downtime for a year. They told me no work for a year. I was like beside myself. How am I going to cope? But now look, it's the largest psychic network in the Southern Hemisphere. We have over 80 psychics on the books and a lot of admin staff. So you need that downtime. So I'm not saying that's going to happen for you, but I am saying that sometimes you have a downtime before you have a really big uptime. Okay, so that's a really helpful energy. All right, let's have a look now at your horoscope. Just remember these two, maybe write them down. 4 of Pentacles and Knight of Swords, okay, because they're your main themes. Now here's your wheel, and we'll go through your horoscope for June. May 11 to June 27, Mars in your second house of finances, value systems, possessions here. You could be feeling really motivated to do something with your finances. There is a danger of being impatient though, so it's I must say, look at the medium to long term rather than the short term. Okay, so but very active and taking positive action here. May 19th to June 20th, Sun in your 5th house here. Young romance, I mentioned briefly. This is your creativity. If you isolate yourself a little bit, go within, your creativity could blossom. You could have all sorts of energies coming up from within that you can focus on to build something long lasting. It is possible. You could be feeling very energized and inspired, expressing yourself. Maybe the performing arts are calling you. It is a time of young love or romance, but just beware of getting too involved because of those retrograding planets. But you could meet somebody now, certainly, with this energy. And, maybe you want to be friends first before you commit to anything. 27th of May to August 4, Mercury in your 6th house here. Lots of communications and discussions about your everyday work, your habits, your health, your well-being. You could be thinking, reading and learning at the moment. May 31st to June 3, Mars conjunct Mars. Okay, this is about making a fresh start. You might be thinking about how you can go into a new cycle, how you can power forward. You may be feeling very energetic physically. You might be feeling quite courageous, and do keep a check on anger, irritability and accidents. If you just let that Mars energy run like crazy, it's possible, you could trip up somewhere. So, take a deep breath and feel inspired and motivated and do stuff carefully. May 31st to June 3, Venus conjunct Venus. You might be desiring love and affection, time for new romance. You might want to create beauty in your home, harmony, peace and money. Okay. June 2 to June 6, Venus squares Mars. It could be, excuse me, it's quite cold here today, and I've got this Ross River virus that's making me cough. Relationship tensions. You may have a strong drive for sex, but perhaps you can't fulfill it Okay, tensions with the opposite sex, so do be a little bit cautious there. June 5 is a lunar eclipse in your 11th house of friends, networks and groups. This brings things up where you might decide that, you're not on the same page with some people and you have to let them go. Even if it's just, social media connections or friends, it might be time that, they're coming up with all sorts of crazy things that you don't agree with, and you might just have to unfriend them. Because a lunar eclipse is all about transformation, and you have to cut stuff away to make space for the new energies that are coming. June 8th to June 12th, Venus trine Moon. Okay, so this is a really peaceful, this could be a really peaceful time. You might really enjoy being at home and being quiet. And maybe narrowing down your friends to your real friends, and you appreciate your home and beauty. You might be motivated to beautify your home or renovate or something like that. June 9 to 13, Mercury trines Mars. It's a great time for asserting your own desires, speaking up. You are sharp, clear and decisive, and you attack intellectual problems. June 19 to July 22, Sun in your 6th house, so it moves from here to here. You're doing your best work. You could improve your efficiency and productivity, or you could also start a self-improvement program, either about your health or your life generally, okay, because 6th house does cover your health and your well-being. June 20 to June 24, Mars sextile Jupiter. Doors open for you. There's new opportunities with positive outcomes. Mutual benefits for all concerned, including partners. And there's high energy. June 15 to July 3, Jupiter conjunct Pluto. You might feel a need for personal recognition. You want to better yourself and your life. It's a time for greater freedom, prosperity, well-being and advancement, so that's really good. June 21, solar eclipse in your 6th house. Okay, this is a new beginning. You could start a new job, go in a new direction here. Again, a self-improvement program to do with your health or your life generally, but it means there are new starts. Okay, this one's important. June 29th to December 18, Saturn in your 12th house up here. You could be feeling a bit isolated or cut off from the world, and you might do it willingly. Okay, you embrace this quiet time. It's a time to cut from the past. Do try to stay positive, because this is the downtime I was talking about before the big event, the big change in the news cycle that's coming, the reset. So take comfort from things like this, go outside and sit in the sun and look at the flowers or something like that. It doesn't have to be, at this time, it doesn't have to be a big thing that is causing you to be happy. You can just look at the small things in life and be happy. Maybe you take extra, care of your pets. You could be dealing with guilt or failure coming up from your subconscious. It's really coming from the past, but something in your life now could be triggering it, okay? So just remember, this is only for a time, and a new cycle and a greater cycle will begin soon. So another big one you have is June 12th to July 14th, Saturn conjunct Ascendant. Okay, so right here, this is the start of the new cycle, like get ready for it. Okay, it's a time to be responsible and committed. You'll make some important decisions in this time, okay, over this month. June 12th, I'll say it again, June 12th to July 14th. You could mature rapidly. You cut out old habits, let go of, things that are not for your highest good, including people sometimes. You take life more seriously. You might not be feeling sociable. You may end up deciding to relocate or change job, let go of the past and pursue a new life and new interests. And May 23rd until August 30. Now this is really important for you as well. Chiron opposition moon. Okay, here's the moon up here. And the asteroid Chiron, okay, which is retrograde as well. I didn't talk about it in the retrogrades, but this is really important for you. You could find yourself acting defensively and protecting yourself more. There's some emotional disruption. You could be feeling isolated. Maybe you're avoiding intimacy. And this is all about past hurts. Earlier in your life, perhaps when you were a child, something happened where you expressed your emotions and you got in trouble for it, or something went wrong. So now you could be feeling rather sensitive, and if somebody says something, you immediately assume it, the worst scenario, which they may not even mean it to be that way. But because of your wounds from your childhood or other things that have happened in your life, that's how you take it. These psychological wounds that we carry from childhood right through our lives, they may heal, but there's a scar still there, and the scar hurts in certain weather conditions. Now remember, I had the vision of the window and you closed the window because there was a storm outside. Just remember that the weather conditions, the outside environment is not positive at the moment. And so it is best for you to try and stay home, reflect and go deep within as much as possible. But this is all good in the long term, amazing Aquarius, because this is helping you start a new cycle where you'll make fresh decisions. Okay, so that's your horoscope. Remember these two cards, Four of Pentacles and Knight of Swords. And now we're going to look at your tarot for the month of June, week by week. Week by week. First week of June, closing my eyes now, and what do I see? Yes, I'm still seeing those challenges on either side, and you walking quietly through. The path through, it sort of twists and turns, so it's not a straight path, but there's really only one way you can go, so it actually makes it a bit more interesting. We come up with the Five of Wands. Stand your ground, be firm. As I said before, it is time to let go of some people and some situations. See all these little flames coming out of her fingertips here? These are your hopes and dreams. And concentrate on those. Try to stay positive. I feel like you're moving forward. It's like you're walking and you're getting there, but you may not be going as fast as you would like. But you are getting there. Okay, so the motivation is coming. And so don't be concerned about this quiet downtime. Sorry. Second week of June for amazing Aquarius. Let's see what comes up. Okay, closing my eyes now. I see a ladder. I'm in a cave. There's water here, so it's quite emotional. The cave walls are quite wet, so there's a lot of dampness around. Okay, do be careful of viruses generally. I'm not specifically talking about COVID here. I'm just talking about the normal flus and things, but viruses, because of this dampness, try to avoid mold and damp situations. Okay, all right, the Lovers. Okay, the Lovers card, it's a bit push me, pull you. We're together, we're apart. We're together, we're apart. Note up here the angel watching out over all of this. This is about you integrating an energy into your psyche, into your personality, and you'll see the snake down here for transformation. So Second week of the month is a big transformative sign. On this side, there's a lot of fire. So this is like passion. On this side, there's a lot of flowers, which is like happiness. And then there's some clouds in the background, but clear sky as well. So it's not perfect the way that you would want your life to be, but there's some really good things happening here. And you're also integrating the energy into your own subconscious. So you're becoming more powerful and more complete, more whole as a result. This could be an actual relationship if you want it to be, or it could just be your own energy within. You're integrating the energy so that your personality, your ego, will have the use of that energy, and you can be more productive and have more freedom, basically. Third week of the month for amazing, awesome Aquarius. Let's see, going with that card there, closing my eyes now. What do I see? I'm seeing fire, passion, motivation. What else? Okay. It's like you have this motivation to do something, but there is a brick wall in front of me, and that means that it's blocked in some way. But if you change your direction, you can go around it. So, okay, it might not go smoothly at first. You have to find another way to do what you want to do. And with this one, you will. The Queen of Wands. Now, firstly, I should say, when I come across queens or kings, I always think these are the divine energies here on earth. Okay, they're the representative of the divine, and we have these royal energies within us all. Queen of Wands, she is the queen of passion, motivation. I was just picking that up a minute ago. You'll see here the sunflowers. I did actually also see the yellow in spirit. And sunflowers are about happiness, brightness, prosperity. She's sitting on a wooden throne with her feet on the ground because she is practical. So she's feeling inspired and motivated and confident, but she's practical about it. How can she get her motivation into the physical world? Okay, she's dressed in blue here, and that's about self-expression. And see here around her waist is a gold tie or a gold belt, the solar plexus. That's the confidence and motivation. I think it was actually, when I got the flash, I think it's related to that more than the sunflowers. You see down the bottom here this wild cat that looks like a Bengal cat. I've got two Bengal cats myself, Prince Harry and Leopard. And these cats are very instinctual. So it's about following your instincts and even your intuition, you know, because cats are very spiritual creatures and they've got a lot of intuition and they're extremely observant. So these cats are very entertaining, Bengal cats, and they're on the go all the time. So this is saying stay in touch with your wild instinctual nature. Be ready for action with the baseball bat. There's prosperity and happiness and achievement available to you with the divine feminine energy of the Queen of Wands. That you have that in you, amazing Aquarius. You may need to go within to find it. Okay. All right, so now let's look at the fourth week of the month for you, amazing Aquarius. Okay, that one just comes out. It's the Page of Wands. Again, about motivation, confidence, and feeling, you know, ready for action. Pages bring news. So this is good news about growth and opportunities. See the green plant there growing? Action with the baseball bat. Now, this can suggest travel, but probably more likely is it relates to your chakras opening up and the energy being released. And so you could be feeling like you've got more energy, or you feel a little bit vital, more vital than usual. The blue here up near the throat is about self-expression. So if we look back here, we've got the wands. Both these wands have got self-expression. Okay, so motivation and inspiration, and good news about that. Last 2 days of the month for you, amazing Aquarius. Let's see what we come up with. Going with that card there. Closing my eyes. What do I see? Blue, but it's like in a river, or it's water. And your emotions, last 2 days of the month. I see a scroll, I see a parchment, and this is like a contract or an agreement. If you're not actually signing a contract or agreement in the physical world, this is a soul contract, something that you have undertaken when you've decided to come into this life. You can change it. You can actually void that contract if you're not happy with the conditions of your life now. Okay, Knight of Cups. Exploring your emotions. See, he's seated on a lobster here. So that really relates to the water. I don't know if you can see the water in the background there, the ocean. Yes, it's dark, but there's just the hint of the sun coming up, the new day, the new cycle. He's probably been drinking too much, and he might have made a few mistakes, but it is about exploring your emotions and just letting things come up without judging them. That's really important. When, you know, you feel lost or you're not feeling good, you're worried about something, just let that come up, and it's okay. You don't have to judge yourself as being a failure or being guilty of anything. Just allow it to be, and try to withhold judgment. Okay. Excuse me, we've got mostly wands there. 1, 2, 3 wands. So it's, you know, this is about encouraging your confidence and that sense of accomplishment. That's what's going to come out of this. We've also got the Lovers, which is a major arcana, and Cups, your emotions. Okay, so that's the tarot spread for you. Now I'm just going to close my eyes and see what I can see for you psychically, amazing Aquarians, for the month of June. Yeah, in a car, I'm traveling in a car. Yes, there's a storm outside. And I'm driving slowly because it is really full on rain, okay, out there. And that suggests, you know, there could be a lot of emotion about rain. Sometimes means tears, but I'm perfectly safe and I'm okay. So I'm in my own little cocoon here, traveling slowly in the night. I'm on a path, a road, actually, I'm on a road. And I'm going the direction. So although I know it's all happening out there, I know I'm okay. And so I just continue slowly. The lights are on. I can see where I'm going. Yes, there are mountains either side, and I just keep on going. So, you know, well done you, because you're getting there slowly, even in these very difficult conditions. Okay, so there's something else here. I've got a queen. It's like Queen Elizabeth from England, which probably doesn't mean much to Americans, but I can see the crown, and it's almost like a crown is being put on your head because Spirit wants to congratulate you, coming close and bringing that, really getting in contact with your own divinity. That's what you're doing. So well done and congratulations. And that will give you a whole lot of new energy and resources that you can run your life with. Okay, well, that's lovely. That's nice to finish up on, isn't it? Thanks so much for watching. If you're new, please consider subscribing to my channel, and don't forget to click the notification bell so you can be notified of all the videos I'm doing. I've finally worked out how I'm going to run my YouTube channel after all these years, because I'm growing it now, and I'm actually going to really get into the video making in a big way. So thanks again. Please leave a comment. Let me know how you're going, and I'm happy to answer all your comments and questions, and just let me know if you're relating and resonating with what I'm saying. Okay, have a very good and insightful month, amazing Aquarius, and I shall see you again soon. Bye for now. Thanks so much for watching. Please visit my website absolutesoulsecrets.com for all things spiritual. Have a lovely day.